A 9-year-old boy held up 5 fingers and told his grandfather earnestly that he wanted to give him 5 trillion won. His uncles wrote it off as a kid's silly joke and snickered, but the boy stayed dead serious. He insisted that if everyone backed candidate 3 in the presidential race, the rewards down the line would be at least double that amount. Their smiles froze instantly. Just moments earlier, the family's elderly patriarch had asked for their opinions on the candidates, but none could make up their minds between candidate 1 and 2. Frustrated, he'd kicked them all out of the room. The oldest uncle was the first to mock. Candidate 3 is dead last in the polls, there's no way he can win, he scoffed. What does a kid know about politics? But the boy fired back with a single Chinese idiom that left the patriarch stunned.
그 두 사람이 단일화에 성공할 수 있을 거라고 보세요?
His choice aligned perfectly with the seasoned business tycoon's own judgment, yet none of his adult children had shown such foresight. The boy went on to predict that the top 2 candidates would soon start mudslinging at each other and end up destroying both campaigns. No one took his words seriously.
도자기 값은 다 치는 것 같은데요. 그럼 가보겠습니다.
But as soon as he left, the butler burst in a panic. When the uncles turned on the TV, they were stunned into silence. The screen showed the 2 front-runners having a public falling out and attacking each other relentlessly. Meanwhile, the boy, about to head out, was stopped by the butler. None of this came as a surprise to him. He wasn't an ordinary child, he was a reincarnated soul. In his past life, he'd been team leader unit Shenyang Group, betrayed and killed by his most trusted apprentice amid a chaebol succession dispute. When grandfather and grandson sat face-to-face for the first time, the patriarch led with a question. Why was he so certain candidate 3 would win? Du Jun tried to brush it off by saying he'd drawn experience from running for class president. After all, no one would believe the truth about his reincarnation. But such a childish excuse stood no chance against a veteran of the business world. The patriarch pressed further with an unexpected question that left even the reincarnated Du Jun stumped.
1등하고 2등이 싸워서 3등이 이기는 걸 갖다가 어부지리했다 맞나? 새우가 어부지리로 고래를 이길 방도는 없겠나?
Yet he was intrigued. For days, he buried himself in research until a semiconductor industry magazine cover gave him a breakthrough. The big whales his grandfather spoke of were the US and Japan's monopoly on the semiconductor market. What his grandfather sought was a small fish strategy, differentiation to stand out from the giants. Drawing on his past life memories, Du Jun quickly found the answer and rushed to call his grandfather's house. But his grandmother informed him the patriarch had gone abroad and wouldn't be back until October 29th. That date made Du Jun break out in a cold sweat. According to his memories, the patriarch had died in a plane crash that very day. He raced to a payphone to alert the police, begging them to ground the flight. But the operator, hearing a child's voice, dismissed it as a prank and hung up. Time was running out. He begged his grandmother for the patriarch's assistance number, then called to warn him about the crash, urging him to pass the message along immediately. What Du Jun didn't know was that after hanging up the phone, the assistant lost the note with the warning written on it. Fearing punishment for dropping the ball, he covered up the call entirely. The next day, the family saw news of the plane crash. Confirming the patriarch's name was on the passenger list, they plunged into grief. Du Jun was overwhelmed with guilt for failing to change history. But just then, a familiar figure pushed open the door and walked in. It was the patriarch, alive and well.